Okay, here we go. This is a Port Jackson fig taken from, purchased from Canberra Bonsai. I bought this over 10 years ago. Just recently gave it a repot. Some of my aerial roots are looking a bit beaten up, but that's okay. They'll either reshoot or fall off like twigs. I'll just leave them on for now. Had a really strong one growing down here, but I put the ends in the soil, just here. And it feels quite twiggy, like it's going to die. But no dramas. I'll probably just see how it goes. But this tree hasn't had a trim for a while. I'm going to sort of knock a lot of this stuff back. This tree has reduced its leaf size quite well. I was in a bit of a hurry to get everything back into the greenhouse, and there's a bit of premature decision. I got a little bit of sunburn on my leaves. So I've upset him a little bit, but I've pulled him back out because we've had a couple of really nice hot days. And it taught me to just be a little bit more patient. Just because the plants are growing well, I'm just trying not to expose them to too much cold weather. I'm going to just go in and give this a bit of a trim. I've got dieback in some areas, like things like this. I'm just going to check them to see if they're alive. Basically, I can get all the way down to the base and they're dead. This one here, that's alive. Okay, so I won't touch that. So that's the sort of thing I'm going to be looking at here. Some of it, there is dieback, but overall, that was dead. I'm going to probably knock some of this dieback off and tidy him up. So you can see that's all dead. Instead of starting at the bottom, I might start on the top and work down. However, I normally start from the bottom. Maybe I'm just going to go from the bottom. Bugger it. Ignore what I'm saying. I'm thinking out loud. So that's the front of the tree. You can see it's quite closed off. I can open him up by probably getting rid of this, just to open it up. So let's have a bit of a chop here. So that was a branch that was growing for a little while. I've taken it back to the base here. I think I'm just gonna go nuts on it. Just start on this branch. Okay, that's alive there. Up here, I'm gonna knock this down. Knock that down. Leave one leaf on here. So after I do this to this tree, it's going to back bud. It's going to thank me for this. Just check if that's alive. That is alive. There's a tip in behind it that's smaller. So I just took that. I'm going to check this one here. There's a nice live shoot there. So I'm going to take the thick one out and keep the thin one, which contributes to ramification. So I'm getting rid of the thick. That one's growing in the wrong direction, so I'm going to rip him off in here. Where'd that go? Lost it. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take him out. One leaf on. Is this alive here? Nope, that's dead. So I'm going to come back here. Take that. There you go, she's alive. We've got sap. In here, another situation where I've experienced dieback, but there is a tip here. So I'll take this back to the tip. So this tip is now going to push out. And what I can do is just probably shorten these. This one here, he's coming out quite wild. I'll take this one back a bit too. I wasn't planning on giving this a horrendous haircut, but I feel like I'm already starting to be a bit wild with my selections here. So that's dead, I think. Take that off. Yeah, just a little bit of sap. So that was dead. Come back here. I'm going to shorten you. Now, this whole branch seems to be in your grill a little bit. So what I might do is neck him back like that. So that's, excuse that. That was quite a bit of growth on that branch where I've come all the way out shorter and shorter. Just because of its position. I'll shorten this one too. Just so you can see what I'm thinking is that this is coming forward. I've eliminated that and then it stepped down in size down to here. So I'm bringing it back in. Here's a wild bit of dieback. I'll just check. Actually, I don't like the way it's growing at all, so I'm going to take it off at the base. There. So when you look at the dieback, it's a fair bit. That looks like it was sort of alive, but not doing anything great. So I have to probably get this thing moving again. So I'm going to shorten him up. Maybe look at the branch structure itself. And try and get some back budding before autumn. Here I've got two. I don't know if you can see. Growing up. And they both look like dried up twigs. If you can see that. Just garbage. Let's keep moving. Shorten that, I'll keep it. This one here is growing inwards, a bit daggy. Take him out. Once you start opening it up, it helps you to see what's in there. I've got two here. This one's growing quite leggy. So I'll take that and then shorten this. That will back bud out here, really fine leaves. I've got these two here. Shorten him. Leave one leaf on with him, I think. Coming along and wiring this, I don't know if I'll even bother. In here, I've got a little tip here. That's alive. So I'll just come back to him. All the growth will go into these two tips. This piece looks like a bit of dieback. Dead, 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 alive. Okay, so he's alive there. Come on, man. Jeez, I'm shaking like someone that's been on the piss for a week. And then I've got this branch growing across here. It's quite leggy, but it's growing inwards here. So that's the choice I'm eliminating. It's opened up for some smaller growth. Now I can see dieback here. Yep, that was dead. That looks dead too. However, that looks like a green tip to me. I could potentially leave that or take him off there. Underneath I have I'll fix that up. That was alive, but it wasn't doing anything. Looked like it was dead. So now I'm trying to promote more vigor. I don't know whether I want to chop him. I'll just shorten him. He can reshoot. That one there, it's growing in the fork. That one there looks like it's dieback. There we go. All right, so I think we got it, but there's another bit of dieback here. Yep, that's dead. Dead wood. In here I can see a couple of verticals, like this one here. He's alive. That's all right to shorten them down. They'll reshoot. I'm wondering if this should be trained down or just chopped to keep it low. Chop that riser to keep it low. The trees do grow up, but I do have signs of heaviness, which is what you do with some trees to show the age, just to make it look like these branches have weighed down over time. This one here is growing in a bit. How's it going? So I'll knock him back. Yep, better. This area, I could probably leave it. This seems like it's sticking up too much. I think I could lose this because it's quite proud, and I could lose this like that. It sort of comes out more this way. It's sort of like a clip and grow method now because I'm not getting in there and wiring these things. I'm just letting them run. So over here, sticking out the back, I've got a bit of a mess. So maybe I'll look at this other bottom branch. He's getting a little bit wild. I don't know if that is alive. Yeah, it could possibly be alive. This is getting a bit... How's it going? I think I'll come in over the top with this cut. So I've kept this tip and that tip, and there's two more behind it. But once again, I'm going from horizontal and now it's shooting up. So I'm keeping an eye on my angles of what I want. But this branch should be higher than this. This is the low branch. This is the bottom one. I do have a tip facing down the bottom, not no more. So this one, bit of dieback in here. I can see it tip there. No, that's no good. It's dead. Let's go there. It needs this tidy up, that's for sure. I might come back here, take that, and then take that. Okay. So this one's sticking up in the air. What I want to do with him, I'll just shorten him down. I'll take that, that, that. Just tidy that cut up. So I've got a little tip here, little tips there. I've got strong growth here. I can nearly see some dieback. Yep, that's dead. This is actually quite good up inside there. Lots of little tips coming up. See if I can get in there. gone. Now, what have I got going on here? Okay, so at the front, I've got branches going like this, like that, and back towards you. And then I've got a bit of a fork here. What I might do is take the guts out of the fork, because this is very heavy and this is a bit more ramified. So another decent chop there. As you can see, I'm going from that thickness all the way down, and that had a bit of sunburn, but this is how you get into your tree, that's for sure. You definitely get to make a bit of a difference. It's going to look a bit different. I'll keep this one quite strong, I'm thinking. That one there, what do you reckon? Definitely knock that back. Cut that back. I'm going to cut that back. All right. This is the next branch over. I'm just going to shorten him there. So we're getting division between our pads, if that makes sense. So it all doesn't look like one pad all the way around. So this branch here is like a bit of a back branch that needs to come more this way, this direction. This is more diagonally front. Maybe I need to spin him in the pot slightly a little bit more, I'm thinking, but that's not what I'm going to do for this season. I'm just going to give him a cut back because he hasn't had it for a while. This does need to be shortened. Leggy growth is what I'm looking at. Maybe take that one off completely, and maybe I do this. There you go. So on the back side of this, I have a little tip under here. I have some dieback in here. So I can choose 1, 2, or 3. I'm thinking this might be the one I want because it's a bit lower. Just looking at the height of some of these. This guy's rolling up. Yeah, that's dead wood. Dead wood be gone. So I've got a few opportunities there. I'll take this one out that's growing down. You can see that. Gone. So I didn't have much left on this side. I think I'm going to do this. That's the thing. I'll look back over it. I'll make a decision at the blink of an eye, but when I'm staring at it for 5 minutes, I can't manage to make a decision on the spot. I'm a serial procrastinator by the look of it. This is growing in this way, in towards this. Maybe I change the direction of this coming this way by coming back in there, and now he's going to come that way. So this here, I could possibly lose it, but if I could get something like that to come this way, that would be good. It's one of those decisions that can make or break a pad shape. So I've got this dude pointing up. I'm just going to neck him just so the pad looks a bit more in control. This is pissing me off because I can just keep looking at it because it draws my eye. That one's gone. That was never meant to be there. That's a sign of good vigor when you start throwing out runners like that. Can I get that cut a bit cleaner? Bigger scar, but it's not going to leave a bulge. Sorry, mate. So, pad 1, pad 2, let's look at pad number 3. So she's sticking up a bit here. We have some stuff down. I don't know if that's dieback in there. No, that's alive. I'll shorten it so it encourages back budding. Reverse taper back in here. All right, so I'm going to take this off the bottom. I'm going to shorten up a lot of this junk here. I'll leave one leaf on. I'll shorten this up too while I'm here. So, just going to bring him in a bit tighter. Die back there. Looks like die back all in here. Yeah, die back galore when you look in there. Stuff like that. It's getting violated, this one. So yeah, when you look in here, you can see the bulge it's created. I could probably annihilate that whole bloody lot. I'll come back here on this guy. What's this one doing here? That's terrible shoot, that. I can work with that. Yeah, this is looking pretty. I'm gonna smash that. Get rid of it. You can see it's not a nice looking branch. Hope you can see that there was a cut here and possibly a cut there, and then it's just gone. Yeah, not really nice. Up in here, I don't want you, I don't want you, and I don't want you. All right, how's that pad looking? I think something I might walk out and put wire on later. That's dieback. Okay. Where was I? Bit off track. All right, so this branch, this guy, I think it's too close into the main. Very, very close. All right, there we go. I don't think the roots have bitten in since the repot. I just pushed on it, sort of moved in the pot. I've got an ugly little stump in here. That was sort of... I'm going to take this shit out here too, just so I can get in. There we go, a little bit better. All right, now I've got this upward facing thing. Gone. That way the growth pulls away from your main trunk line. Looking from the front of the tree, back branch. I think this is a little bit heavy. I do have some new stuff below. That's a bit of dieback. This branch isn't growing very well. So what I might do, I know he's been with me for a while, but there's some good new growth around it where this branch is not great. Not great. Got to do something about this. Okay, did that help? Go like that. Okay. This one seems to want to grow towards this pad. It looks like an okay filler for density, like it's going to make this pad a thicker pad. Oh, come on. So that's very trainable. It's very trainable. This is flying. It's going up in the sky, mate. I really don't like this one. It's got a beast of an arrowroot coming off it. I'm just going to knock that die back. Put that root back in there. Yeah, this arrowroot shot over the branch and down. I just left it. Do I want to do any more to that? Knock that back to one leaf. I'm thinking I'll just give that a bit of a hit. I mean, overall, just terrible. Come back onto this branch. I'll go in there and get these to train into this area. I've left one out here. Let's do this. Okay. So from the front of the tree, let's just keep knocking it back. Some shit up in here in the middle. Open him up. How's the sound of my cutting tools? People are probably thinking, mate, put some oil on. All right. I don't like that knot. Keep looking at it. Maybe I could train off this tip here. Oh, that's dead. Let's die back. That's going to contribute to reverse taper as well, having two coming out of one spot. This here. Okay, got another branch I could possibly train out. This one. That one in here. Get rid of that. Alright, that can be brought around with some wire at a later date. I really want to off that reverse taper bit. I keep looking at it. Now I can't look at it. If it draws my eye, it mustn't be right. Okay. That's shortening him up a bit, isn't it? This looks a bit leggy coming out. Bugger it. It's not the best branch in the world out the back here, but it is out the back, so you don't see it. The main focus on the tree is going to be your front two pads. All right, moving up, next layer. Okay, I've got some dieback in there. What I might do is get rid of some of this dense crap up in here that's throwing out big leaves, just so you can see what's in there. I'll just do that. So I'll just take that, dieback, keep him, one leaf on, one leaf on there. So this one here, I've got two side by side, growing vertical. It looks terrible. So I might have dieback here. So what I might do, I'll keep this guy because I might be able to train him around. This one. I'm going to come in here. It's pretty brutal, but you look at it, it's not what you want. This guy's sticking up like a sore thumb. He's alive. Let's just knock him down. So this dieback, let's have a look. Yep, dead. Dead. We've got a bit of greenery. All right. So what have we got here? That's alive. Okay. Good stuff. I've got potential in here. And then this guy at the back. Oops, sorry, tree. Hope I didn't knock any tips off. Fumbles. Okay, if we start small, work our way back in, I possibly won't make any too bad of a mistake. This comes up and rolls over and then shoots up again. Pardon me. And then this comes over, rolls over. Looks like dieback there. Yep, dieback, gone. This looks like dieback. Let's have a look. I'll come in here and get rid of that. It's actually growing straight up there. What I'll do is I'll get rid of this guy so you can see a bit clearer. This one's growing back towards the middle, which is not cool. So he's going for a walk. Little branch. I've got a lump there. It looks like dieback. Let's get into him. We'll just take him off above this tip. Okay, so that's living there. Okay, so that tip, in theory, could be alive. This tree's looking ravaged. I've got these two sticking up all very tight, close together. I'm just going to munch them completely. Where's the light? That one. That one. They'll heal over. But that's going to cause something ugly later on. So I want to get these branches opening up a little bit. I could. Yeah, that's dead there. That doesn't look good. What I'll do, there. She's coughing it. I've got some sticks on the inside here, on the trunk. I don't want them to develop at all. What I might do is just shorten up the apex on these two and make a decision which one I'm going to keep. Just gives me more visibility. It's looking bloody tight. I got some dye back there, so I'm going to chop there. Gone. This needs to be trained. That looks a bit bothered. Yep, that's dead. Okay, so right here I've got one branch. This has had a, maybe I don't go too hard here. Shit. Leave a bit of a stump and see if it back buds on there. Let's have a look at this one. Leave that like that. And what I might do with this guy is just see what happens, because otherwise I'll just chop these off and grow that. You know what? Bugger it. We've got a branch there. We'll go with him. Oh, fuck. I just hit that. Is that dead? That's alive. Okay. I just got to be a bit careful. I'm a bit rough, a bit heavy-handed, a bit clumsy. All right, where are we? Is that dead? Let's just trim the tip off. Okay, I've got some sap there. That's live. So really I want to get that down in here. Get that growing out here. Okay, let's move to this other branch. I can see this vertical junk here. Come around and get it from this side. That it's creating a bit of a reverse taper. Rip him off. There's an old bit of dye back there as well. Let's see. Bit of dye back in here. These little tips like that could potentially grow out, and then I can pick which one I want to keep. I'll come back to one leaf on. One leaf on. Okay, we've got that one. So it's shit like this. That's poor maintenance, I believe. Like this tree looked good before I started cutting it, but after I cut it, I realised how much dieback there is, how much reverse taper there is, how many spots where things are growing that shouldn't be growing. And it's teaching me that I've got to be more proactive here. I've got to look after my trees. I'm not doing a very good job. A bit of a slacker. Got dye back in here. Okay, that looks a bit tidier. That in there. Okay, what do we got here? I could shorten this up because this is growing outside our bottom pad. So I think I've got to really get in hard on him. So if I'm going in hard, I'm coming back to this tip. So change of direction, and it's in the area where I should be cutting, shortening him up. Over here, I'm going to shorten up right about there. Shorten him up by taking all that. There's a bit of dieback, isn't it? I've got quite a bit of junk in there to clean up underneath. Yeah, that's dieback. Yep, just nuggets of wood. In here. Been a bit of a cluster in there of growth. Should bounce back pretty good after this. All right, we're going to get into this one. I'm going to come back here. That's probably the spot I want. Probably wire that back around that way. Once again, I've got some levels on this. It is growing out a bit far. I could probably knock this guy back a touch. I could come back to here, back to this spot, and then that be the dominant. So this will be out the side. So I'll get rid of this section. And I'm just looking at it, but this is running in the direction I want. Maybe I'll get rid of that bit, but one of those things, I'll look back at it later, make a decision when I'm sick of seeing it and go, yeah, I should have done it. Okay, we've got a little couple in here. Done. Okay. Now we've got this big guy up the top. First of all, let's shorten back to one leaf on. I'll shorten this one right down because it's growing out like a sore thumb. That one's growing upwards. Hang on a minute. That's my leader. This one here, let's get rid of this. This really shouldn't be out there. It's providing some tips. There's a bit of dieback there. That could be dieback. Get in and have a look. So I've got these two tips coming out of one spot. That guy there, I don't want that one. I don't think I want the other one either. Look, it's growing back in towards the front, to the middle. I just sighted a little tip down in here as well. I'm going to off that. Shit, the tree is loose in the pot. Just pushed on it with the cutters and it rolled forward. Ooh, it's looking different. Tree abuse. Alright, so that's the decision I think. I'm going to go here. And I'm hoping I get a lot of back bud in this area. It's my crown or apex. I hope that back buds. I get some back budding here. Maybe I can bring that back in all the way back to there because it is quite strong. It is quite strong. The back of your tree should go like this because your tree should bow to you. These are all things that you've got to try and keep in mind. That's alive. What about this shit here? This looks ugly. This is growing quite strong. Just the length of him. He shouldn't be any longer than this. This one should be bigger than this one because it's lower down. Obviously, as you go up, you get smaller and smaller. So this is running like a madman. I'm going to take him back to there. Damn. That's done some damage. Alright. That's been cut. I'm thinking this looks like a big knot as well. It's getting done. Gone. Especially from this position of the tree, you don't want to see a reverse taper. That's going to have to heal over. If there's dieback, there's potentials here that I could possibly train, but that's possibly what I'm going to do. I just want to see how much dieback there was in here. This is looking a bit congested. What do you reckon? Could take out the middle one there. Getting wilder. That's better because there's 3 branches all growing in that gap. Really, I want to open him up. Maybe I'll lose that because I've got this. This is healthy. It is out the back. Bugger it. I'll keep it on for now until I can make up my mind. Alright. Well, it's a different tree. I've really ravaged the top here. There's a bit of dieback there. No, it's alive. Well, there's my Canberra Bonsai fig I bought more than 10 years ago. Don't know how much it was I paid for this guy. When I got it, it was basically a trunk with 3 branches at the start and then a leader coming up. I'll get rid of that. And then I chopped the leader here. It healed over its scar beautifully, and it sort of bonsai'd itself very naturally. It was like it knew what to do, how to grow. It's just a good specimen that I have in my collection. I think it's probably one of my favourites, and I should treat it a bit better than what I have in the past. Dieback. Anyway, live and learn. I guess I'm going to pay a bit more attention to them moving forward. I've changed the soil and checked out the roots. I actually cut his roots back, and he dropped a lot of leaves, and I thought I'd done a bad thing, panicked a little bit because, when your favourite tree looks like it's dying, you tend to shit your pants a bit and go, oh, what have I fucking done? But yeah, this will be in an update, I guess. I'll just check if that's dieback, that's alive. How we recovered from the cutback. A few of my trees out there are recovering really, really well. They responded really well. Weather is still in the 30s. Today was top of 29, I believe. Next week I've got a couple of days in the 30-degree bracket. We have, at the moment, it's 25 degrees at 7:30 at night. So yesterday was 30. Today got a top of 30. Told a lie, I thought it was 29. Tomorrow's 32, then 27, 29, 26, then 30, then 28. So he's not going in the greenhouse just yet. He's going to be under the shade of the pergola. getting some fresh air and fresh water, and he's about to get a drink actually. Going to give him a hose down. Anyway, there it is. My Port Jackson fig purchased from Canberra Bonsai over 10 years ago. I'm hoping that these arrowroots come back. I just got to probably mist them or spray them. Everywhere I look, I'm finding dieback. Can you believe that? Just my eye just goes in on it. There you go. Look, I just found another piece. I've missed so much. My eyes must be painted on. Just do another little lap and just check that I've got all the dieback. I think he's live. He feels rubbery. So some of these branches won't be rock hard. They'll be quite soft. You can flex them. My God, who put that there? So when they're dead, they're like a stick. They just snap. See me sweating. So I got some leaf up here. That's all right. I don't know if I should bring that in a bit tighter. Yep, I will. I'll just get rid of that knob. There we go. That becomes the new dominant one. That's what I cut off. Pretty cool, but try and bring it in. It's quite thick there. I think I'm pretty much happy with that. It's time to put him outside and give him a hose down with the water. Give him a drink and thank him for putting up with what I just did to him. Poor tree. Anyway, if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you want to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I will probably show this tree again. That's going the wrong way. I'm going to lose it. There we go. Then I can train these up. It's growing inwards. Piss it off now. Yep. Someone better take the cutters off me before I end up with its stump again. Alright. I'm off like a dirty shirt. Hope you enjoyed the look at my fig. I can bring in for a closer look. Might even show you how much leaf litter I pulled off him. That's what I removed. It's quite a bit of a pile. And he's looking like a shadow of his former self. Let's move the chair out of the way. So these branches have had a bit of a chop. That's a fairly good looking branch. Not a bad structure going on. This one here is a bit shorter out the back, and the new growth. You can see that the bark on this is brown, not the grey colour. Grey colour comes with age. So this one being a new one, it's brown, and then up the top here you've got all your grey colours. So the other bottom branch, bring in, there he is there. I've left quite a bit of greenery on him. He's got a lot of little tips coming out. Yeah. And that's my apex up here, if you can see it. The white background, you probably see it better. Yeah, it looks like it lost a fight with someone with a pair of cutters, doesn't it? There he is. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed watching another tree get beaten up by yours truly. Stay tuned for an update, and might be a couple of weeks before they go in the glass house that I'll actually just show them before they go back in, because I'll be in there for 6 months. All right. There's the back, there's the front. All right, guys, take care, have fun.